I'm delighted to be here today to announce a very special announcement for an amazing local charity, ABC Football Foundation. As you may know, the nonprofit was established by national coach Andrew Bascom and local businessman Henrik Schroeder in 2012. It was their goal to empower the island's next generation through the use of football. By working with the island's primary schools, the program has used sports to inspire young people both on and off the field. They get the chance to take part in more physical activity while also developing confidence and learning true sportsmanship and teamwork. In 2017, they are looking to expand this amazing program and the offerings on the island. They are calling on the community to help by raising $250,000. Local sponsors will be given the opportunity to adopt a school. Their support will help in purchasing materials like lighting, goals, fencing, security, and for full-time dedicated coaches. So I want to start by introducing Richard Ian Pitcher. Mr. Pitcher is a member of the board of directors as well as vice president of ABC Football Foundation. Professionally speaking, he is a security expert with decades of experience in both the Caribbean and Bermuda with Bermuda Security Group. In his off time, he has worked with Andrew Bascom and co-founder Henrik Schroeder to introduce New Generation Valencia Football Club to Bermuda. To top it all off, he's incredibly passionate about the foundation's success.
It is my pleasure to stand here before you this morning and to share with Bermuda a community program that commenced 4 years ago within our public primary schools under the guidance of our coach, Andrew Bascom. ABC Football Foundation, in collaboration with the principals, administrators, and physical education teachers, utilize PE classes to engage our youth through the magic of the beautiful game, to inspire them to enjoy their time at school and the opportunities the school affords them, and to develop them as individual and as team players. Today, as Nadia said, we're here to introduce the next phase of our program. 2 parts. The first part being to enhance the community program, which we like to call Football Matters. And the second part is to launch our fundraising initiative to adopt a school, to adopt a coach, to be a part of this community that we all love. By building on the success thus far and adding in another development tool which emphasizes the belief that one person makes a difference, the Power of One program, formulated by Bascom Enterprises and founder David Bascom, has joined forces with our foundation to deliver the third phase of this development program, Football Matters. With that said, I will turn over to Coach Bascom and David Bascom to highlight the Football Matters program. Thank you.
And thank you for giving me this opportunity to express my love for the game and why this program is so important to me. I was first introduced to football while staying at the Sunshine League. Then I attended Central School, which is now Victor Scott School. I came from a parish where all we done was play cricket. So football was something different. So going into Central School, we were the Sunshine League boys. You know, I didn't like school. Because of that, we were teased. We didn't have recess. Kids wasting recess. We didn't have lunch. So I played hockey, what we call skipping school. And you had to run from the truant officer those days. So it wasn't until I started to play for the school football team that I felt different about me. My peers looked at me different. I was now Andrew. I started to develop a self-esteem. It gave me a sense of purpose. You know, we didn't have anybody we can communicate with and express how we felt. So football was always there through all my hardships, everything I've been through. So I just want to give back and serve my purpose by giving back to the sport and providing an environment in which kids can interact, be more tolerant, and grow to be good people. I'm not interested in looking for no Sean Gilders or Nikki Rouse, just good people, because you don't know what the kids are going through. You know, I've been through that.
Thank you, Andrew.
I've been molested, and it was just football for me. And all I want to do is just teach football and just give back to football and try to just help that one kid that might not have no hope. And feel worthless and useless. And so I don't brag about the things that I've accomplished through football. I don't want nobody to be envious of me and my accomplishments. I just want to give back, because football hasn't made me rich, but allows me to get up every day and feel good about me. And don't think about Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Good afternoon. You all may know me for doing everything I can for young people. What we are witnessing now is that, you know, what this game means to us, what this game means to other young people, and also what this game just means for Bermuda. This was our way out, and we found our safe place. And as my brother speaks, I will let you know that I was also the same position as him. You know, being in that same position of being molested. I've been there. I've developed to get my strength and being able to kind of use my tool or my challenges to help others. And I stand here and really kind of, you know, with my brother and really excited for these, for what we've been able to do and what we've been able to accomplish, this journey. So when my brother invited me, in Bermuda, he says, man, I got this awesome program. It's something that's moving. And, I don't want to call it a program. I want to call it a process. This is a process. Programs sometimes become Band-Aid solutions. This is a process. This is a process and a journey that our young people is going to be looking to take with this Football Matters. So when he asked me, I said, okay, this is awesome. Is it any way that I can help and introduce the Power of One, a sports leadership development process that I've been doing for the past 7-8 years. And when we sat down and we have so much passion, the meeting was only supposed to take 15 minutes. As we know, my brother, now you get us together, we start talking for about 3 hours, 4 hours, back the next day. And, I'm excited to be a part. The Power of One the power of one person helping another. The power of gives them the strength to dream. The power to be successful. Everything my brother has gone through. The power to be strong, to overcome their fears. That's the power of one. That's what's going to be implemented with the Football Matters. My brothers, it's when it's got to do with the game and being a safe place. We want this to be a safe place for others. So the Power One is going to bring, to give them some leadership values, a career tools. What do they want to do next? The Power One is based around 4 levels for one's success. And the first level is focusing on their self-esteem, making sure they understand is that how they use their personality traits to move forward. Dominant, influential, stateliness, and compliant. How can they process out, combating with each other? How do you bring out your compliant side? And yes, I'm talking about little people. I'm talking about primary school little munchkins. These are the ones that need that, because we all will be surprised. If they can get on the internet, they can jump onto Google, they are not too young to learn. What this will now help them with not only their football development, but now outside the game. Their relationships, their understanding of why school matters, why football matters. And it's not just football in this case. Football is our vehicle, but there's many sports, cricket all together. So we're looking to empower many. The Power One was created 7-8 years ago by myself and my group, with Bascom Enterprise. We have had the ability to impact over 10,000 young people, and also including adults. Okay, and the greatest thing is that I've been fortunate to travel over the U.S., also through Guam, and now looking to be in the islands. But I'm home now. I'm back here. And what we have accomplished here with the middle school, T and Tatum, was established the Power One. Now we're doing basically in the classroom, so we're seeing it work. I'm excited because the primary school, little munchkins, this is where we like to get them. This is where it's going to be important. So we're very excited. What you will see is basically a monthly engagement. So we're looking at a structure with the Football Matters inside the school right now from September to December, where they're going with the activity classes, with Andrew Bascom. After that process now is where the leadership development starts. We'll be doing team building with these young people. We'll be doing team building with the parents. And parents, I want to warn you, and I will warn you now because it's your job to be involved with your young people. We are going to be looking for your support. So I'm warning you, I'm very persistent. I will be knocking on your door. If you're part of the Football Matters program in the primary school, you have to make yourself available for the workshops that we are going to be providing for your young people. We'll be looking to do teacher leadership workshops, team building activities, going bowling, doing whatever it takes to help bring that hub, as we are calling this process in that third phase, but also that school. The outcome, what would the outcome look like with the Football Matters and joining in with a leadership development? The outcome is that building and supporting young leaders in that school is also going to encourage to help build our community. We'll be looking to bring stakeholders outside that community. So if we have a Victor Scott school, each school is surrounded by stakeholders that develop in that community, from businesses, community groups and sports groups. So at the final outcome and objective is not only to build the school, but also build the community and do whatever it takes to slowly process this out so we can get Bermuda back. From this, I want to say thanks to everybody. I want to say thanks to my brother. I mean, it's awesome standing here. If you've probably never seen us together. Yeah, anytime I joked with him earlier, the anytime I was sitting beside him was when I was Boulevard days when he told me I had to sit the bench the first 10 minutes. Yeah, just to kind of get me, but it humbled me. And I'm here today on a different side, is that partnering with him, okay, and really kind of being with him to show our strength and what we want to do for this community. So I thank you. I thank, ABC Football Foundation. I thank even the T and Tatum, the groups, everybody that's supporting young people. And I'm really excited to have people on this journey with us. Thank you.
And belief in what you wanted to achieve for their kids. Early mornings, late nights, Don Bernard Park, anywhere you can take them.
Yeah, thank you, for first trusting me. I remember Joe Brown took out a full-page editorial and giving parents over 20 reasons why they shouldn't send their kids to me. So it's funny how life has, but I haven't changed as a person. And I have good intentions. And I would do anything to assist with the development because, again, I know what football's done for me, you know. So, like going into the schools and volunteering, that wasn't motivated by money or attention. I wasn't doing anything. You know, I didn't make work till 2:30. So I said, how can I best assist? So instead of complaining, I went to the primary schools and I offered my services and I asked no one for money because it's not what it means to me. And I don't mean that I bleed blood and forget money. I know money has its place, but I want to be remembered for my work, not my possessions, because those things come and go. And just want to be known as somebody that try to give back. And like I said, for the people out there who might measure someone's life by their successes and their trophies, I don't do that. I don't keep no trophy cabinet.
When you look at the kids that you have helped to mold into a citizen, not necessarily football, but through football and your teaching, they've become role models within the community.
It's uplifting. It feels good. I remember when I first went to Boulevard had this image of rebels and nobody wanted to work, living outside. But you look at Van Bigger Richardson today. Every day you could see him working for Corporation of Hamilton. You know, you got Dean Boyles who's responsible for driving around big gas truck. So these guys have proven their loyalty and commitment through sport. Because once you start feeling good about yourself, and whatever it takes in life, I'm just speaking from my angle. But I believe once you get into a position of leadership, you must be passionate and believe in what you're doing, because there's some kid out there that you can reach. And that's so important. So we must never forget the true purpose of sport. And it's character building. You know, yes, everything else comes. Everything else comes. But to see someone rise and move to a better places, it's definitely rewarding.
Yeah, just can you go? The Power of One joining in with ABC kind of helps in two ways. But break down for me the emphasis of why you're not really looking at the football structure, but the off the field structure, because that's what your program is doing: character building, how they operate inside of a business or outside life, outside of the game life.
Yes. Yes, and the way it's structured is that it's the focus, you know, when we're looking at the percentage of young men and women when we're looking at making it to the pros, 0.01 make it. What happens to the rest of them? Let's look at the percentage that out of 330,000 young people that apply for scholarships, 2,700 get one. I'm talking about athletic scholarships. When you're looking at a job process or a young person who can't even get to college, this is why the focus is that what's next for them. We have a beautiful, beautiful place here. And the one thing is that we always remember was going up to see my father and cooking. I still think I could cook. So we followed that. So you had a huge hospitality. So now it's kind of like the focus is to make sure that they understand, even if not just to prepare you or for a college and career, but also a career process. Making sure they have the tools to be successful, teaching them how to wake up to win, teach them how to empower solutions, not empowering problems. So it's to really, so the focus there, and these are the same tools they're going to need on the field. Can they retain the information that's given to them? Can they find their why? Why are you playing this game? Can they find their safe place? And you know, that's one of the biggest things is that it's really, and we're going to be engaging with, to teaching them job skills to make sure they understand those. I mean, you'll be very surprised on the amount of young men over 30, 35 that, probably don't have a bank account because they don't know how to process it. So those are things we want to make sure that they are ready, okay, for our society, but also ready for 21st century. And we're only there to help give them tools. Now, be very mindful that we're going to be collaborating. We collaborate well with groups. For instance, the etiquette, get into how do they shake a hand. Yeah, these little munchkins shaking a hand, being in that business environment. So that's one of the things. That's, some of the main things is just giving them those tools. And that's why that focus, it balances well, because once they leave the field, they still have to carry themselves in a good manner. And that's why.
Last question for me. Andrew, do you see that twinkle in the eye of a kid who, at the beginning of your session, couldn't pass the ball 10 yards and now is able to dribble and feel good about himself?
Yeah, that's why it's so important to have a good understanding about your subject and being certified, because it allows you to create the drills which create fun and inspire learning at the same time. So it's through fun activity that we do see them getting better. I can tell you that a real improvement I do see is the tolerance for one another. It's increased. They like to compete, but they always want to come first. If they didn't come first, it's because of somebody else. It's because this. No, it's a right to play, and create a social bond. And I think that's what's been taken away from the kids, because the only time the kids get to play is we put up a reward, if we put up a trophy. Like, what is that about? Why do I have to be better than you to be recognized, to be accepted? Why we just can't play and enjoy playing, and again use sport for its purpose? Because to be human is we're human because we can create social networks, we can bond, we have culture, but the kids are becoming so isolated, so game orientated, so I must win in my own space. That's not the truth. That's not life. And if we don't address it, if you think we got issues with what we got now, I can tell you what's coming down the line, we're not going to be prepared for. All those master's degrees that we got 15, 20 years, it's not helping us with today's kids, because they Google. They can find out anything they want. They just Google. So you can't fool them or give them misinformation, because if they find out something different, then they lose trust. You must be fair. You must be honest. You can't treat one no different from the other. I don't care how talented he is. And we have a problem because the talented kids in particular are allowed to get away with murder. Because this boy scores the girls. He must play every game, even if it's rude. But you know what happens? The parent punishes him, but the coach takes it upon himself to convince the parent that this boy is needed and he has to play regardless. So the minute we change, then who wins? The child won. And then we have another thing where the kids don't have to behave in school because I can go play for my club, which is foolishness. Now the kids establishing more of a pride for a club environment than actually an institution that's going to serve him for the rest of his life. Why we can't get them to brag about Central School, Victor Scott School, Prospect? But in order to do that, we have to create the environment where they want to be, where they want to come. If it rains at Victor Scott, they can't have play for 2 weeks because it feels muddy. The grass is hard. The kids can't come out and play 12-inch grass. I mean, that's what school was for me as a young boy. I ran school to play, and sports was important. Now it's up for the teachers to teach me the importance of education. It's not for me to know. I didn't make half of these decisions that I'm born into as a youngster. I didn't vote on no premier or no legislation. I'm a kid. They prepared this world. But look what we are doing to our institutions that are so important to us. But now everything's a cloud. Everything's a cloud. Oh, I ain't got to play for you, teacher. You don't know what you're doing. You're stupid. I could go play for North Village. Or I could go play for ABC. It shouldn't be accepted. We must empower the schools. We must get kids feeling good about their school. It's important. And through sports, we can do it. Because at that age, most kids is their idols. Coaches are overrated. I tell them all the time. Just shut up, just organize and supervise. Yeah, because It's about Messi. How many kids you seen wear Marino's shirt as a kid? The best coach. How many kids buy an Alex Ferguson shirt? They buy Ronaldo. They buy Messi. That's who has the influence at that age. So we have to understand that. We don't become an influence until they get 13, 14, and they go through puberty. And it gets challenging. Now they want more information. That's when they really need us. But it's too much. So the kids get burnt out. We have no under 16 league. And then you wonder where these kids are going to go. They're going to find a strength in numbers because nobody paid attention to their education. My son went to Berkeley, and I found it amazing because he's failing in his subjects, but they never took him off the school team. And I've asked, why? Because if Berkeley wins the trophy, then Berkeley. But what about who's going to replace when my son leaves school at 12 o'clock to go play a game at 2:30? It's nothing in place to save him. So what do we have? A bunch of talented kids that we took no interest in, can't really make the right decisions. So collectively, they find strength. They're not really bad people. But how would they survive if one not equipped them with the tools to survive? If you don't have a decent education in this country, where are you going? Where are you going? We have talent in Bermuda. I can't stress it, we have talent. But we have to give good and strong leadership. And we must be passionate about what we do. If you're a PE teacher and you need equipment, you must knock on doors to get what you need. That equipment is just as important as the smart board is to the math teacher. It's important. You got no balls, no cones, no this. Department of Ministry only gives us this. I'm not accepting only that if I know that there's tools that I need to reach my audience. You don't accept, no. You keep knocking and knocking and knocking, and someone will hear your cry, someone will feel your passion, someone will understand. And then you go to deliver and do what you say. But it's a big problem, I find. Don't surrender. And we must teach the kids to follow their passion. It's not a lot of jobs like when we were coming up. What they gonna do? Follow your passion, what it could, content, maps, reading, music, follow it. And don't surrender. Because your life is your right, and that's all we have. Everything else comes and goes. Everything else. But I have great memories. I believe life's about hard work, sacrifice, and commitment. I believe that. And you don't get jealous of what the other guy has. My granny told me that because you don't know how he got it. And the minister didn't earn his gone by sitting down. It's work, commitment, sacrifice. And with those things, I tell any kid, you can go forward in life and be respectful. Be respectful. And don't see a man's face and think, it's hard. So that would be my advice to the kid.